Good morning, everyone. Here at Miller & Sons Classic Cars with the 66 Oldsmobile. I'm adjusting out our stand as we're talking here. This car, sadly, has been sitting since for a year and a half. Actually, this coming April will be 2 years. I've owned this car a long time. I've been through this car long enough that we're redoing the wheel cylinder. We broke an axle bearing back here. We've changed that. There's videos out there on that. Today, our video is going to be on putting a new wheel cylinder in the back side of this, and putting the rear pan back on. This car is pretty solid, guys, for an all original car. We got a little bit of stuff there. So this is what you call a driver. This is a 1966. We put aftermarket, or not aftermarket, but newer Oldsmobile Cutlass wheels on it. When I did this car, excuse my little cough, many years ago, guys. Many years ago. I don't have a little dog to open my hood, so I got to do it. This car is all original. There's nothing. We put a master cylinder. Original style master cylinder on it at one time. Has the 330 Oldsmobile Jetfire motor. And we've done things like you can see down in there. We put a, oil sending unit. There's been a complete tune-up on it. I've put a lot of miles on this car over the years. Just so happens I have other cars, and wheel bearing went out on this. I took it apart thinking I was going to get right back to it. I didn't. And it sat. So now we're paying the price. When I did looks like we put a new power steering line on it too there at one point. It looks like from sitting that the wheel cylinder has froze up, that rear wheel cylinder. Could it be something else once we get it going, Car hasn't been started in over a year. That's an FM converter right there. Sad of me to leave it sit. Headliner is perfect in this car, guys. Alright, so we'll get you down here. I'll get you into where we're at. I don't know if you can see there. Let me get down here. Drop you down, get you in here. Okay. Lock you in place. You may need to come down just a little bit more. Okay. Cobwebs. Yay. Wheel cylinder is this part right here. I want to make sure that you guys can see that. That gets a brake line coming in the back side of it, and that pushes these out. Okay, guys, that pushes the brake pads out. Brake shoes. Did put new brake shoes on this. One time it had a whole new spring kit on it. I don't have any tools out here, so I will need to get tools. I do have some tools. Not what I need though. I'm gonna need a screwdriver and stuff. Here is what's left of the old wheel bearing. I left everything lay here. Walked away from the car. Life got busy. Here's the bearings from the car laying down here on the ground. Get them out of the way. So what we need to do is take this spring, top spring off, and this back spring right here that's looped right here will need to come off also. So let these fall back. On the back side of this, there's a couple screws, a couple bolts, not screws. We're using the Duralast. I call them the Dura Not Last because nothing lasts anymore. Wheel cylinder part number, made in China. Hey, right on it, made in China. Yay. For a 66 Oldsmobile, the part number on this is let's put a tag right on top of it. Part number 33311 is the part number for it if you're looking for it. Now there should be 2 bolts. This is your bleeder. That's where a brake line screws in. Should go in just like that. So set up in there. Actually, it should go possibly go in like that. like that. All right, guys, I'm gonna go grab some tools and I will be right back. All right, we're back, and a lot of people are scared of doing drum brakes. Don't be. For one, you have another one on the other side, looks just like it. Don't ever take both apart at the same time, especially if you've never done it, because then you will have problems. If you take both apart, then you have to look it up online. Now it's online everywhere. You can find diagrams and stuff, but it's a lot easier just to have it. This side, I'm actually going to put, while we're talking, I'm going to spray some things down here with the WD replacement PB blaster. Just the springs and stuff. Looking a little on the side. Just to help the stuff get a little oiled up. Now there's tools for taking this off here, okay guys? I use a screwdriver. Why? Because it works better for me. Don't lose that spring. Just leave it in place. You got another spring right here. That's going to be a little bit more difficult to get into, but pull it, it's going to pop just like that. Do the same thing. Leave that spring set there. Okay, now this tool here, this bracket, you don't have to remove it. It's easier if you do, but you don't have to. If you leave your stuff in place, you ought to be able to pull these brake shoes out of the way. Okay. Now you're going to have these little pins. Keep them. You're going to need both of them. You're definitely going to need both of them. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop this little spring off here because it's going to make things easier for me, and I know where it goes. But I leave it hooked. Okay, guys? Until it falls. I leave it hooked. I try to leave all the springs hooked in there so that you know right where it goes and that you don't ever have to worry about it. Okay. There's a little rod down in here that fell. We'll need to put that back in place. And you know what? I don't know where that went. I just learned my own lesson there. I should have flipped on that one. I don't remember where that hook's already behind there. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. Okay. Spread these out of the way. Keep these little pins. Keep them forever. All right. Get up into the back side here. Hoping that that's a 10 millimeter. Hey, that came loose. That's surprising that came loose as easy as it did. I was really surprised. I probably, because it's been sitting out here for, like I said, a year and a half. I probably did this car the first time. We found this car in the back of a building in Indiana, a block building. It had been sitting for what we know 15 years. According to the battery. The battery was 15 years old. They had cut the wiring to the dash. The mirrors were gone. All the brakes were gone. That's why we had to go through the brakes. We're all taken apart and just thrown in a box, but they were all just junk. So we replaced everything. It's kind of a fire sale because somebody inherited the house, I think, and then they had to sell the car. That if I remember correctly, that's their story. I've done several things to it over the years. Okay, we got the brake line loose. I said I've done several things to it over the years. I put new shocks on it. I put a new glove box door on it. I've done the wiring to the steering column. Lots of little replacement parts. Everything that I replaced on it are parts that needed to be replaced, or just, they're no upgraded parts, I went back to the single pot master cylinder instead of putting a dual pot on it, which that I probably could have upgraded and been okay value wise on the car. I mean, it's not a high dollar car anyways. This is a 1966 Oldsmobile F85 Cutlass. Doing this kind of blinded here, guys. Turns out that's an 11 millimeter back there. Now, if you're working on a car like this, that means you probably have some experience. So what I'm showing you here is just your basics. You probably already done this or something in your lifetime, because you just don't start out with a car like this normally. Now, I couldn't get that wheel cylinder to push in either way. I wasn't going to try to fight with it. I didn't see the need to. These are like 20 bucks, guys. Well worth putting in your car. Well worth spending the money. Put in your car. Just do it. I also recommend upgrading to the dual port master cylinder like the 67s had. The reason why I say that is this happened to Dawson in this car. If you're flying down the road and you blow a brake line on this car, you're going to lose your brakes. Not just the front or the back. You're going to lose them all. That happened to Dawson. Unfortunately, it did. He handled it not necessarily the smartest way, but he was 16 when it happened. He's 21 now. But he handled it, and he didn't total the car, and he didn't hurt nobody. So that's a plus for everybody. Now myself, I love driving this car. The brakes on this car have never been easy to have. It's got drums all the way around, and even though it does have a brake booster and power brakes they call it, it doesn't feel like it. So after a few days of driving this, you kind of want to go back to something a little newer. Takes a little bit here trying to get that brake line lined up. I think we got it there. We'll find out. Now you will need someone to help you bleed the brakes on this once you get it all together. We didn't lose much fluid there because we haven't touched that pedal in over a year and a half, so I'm really hoping that we don't have another frozen something somewhere. I don't want to go through the whole brakes on this car top to bottom. As far as a vintage car goes, this is a cheap way to get into a car. This car can be bought, I'd sell it, but it can be bought in the $6,000 range. It's got, I'd have to look at the odometer again, but if I remember right, it's got 88,000 miles on it. Original miles, original motor, original transmission, 2-speed. It's Oldsmobile's version of the Power Glide. All right, guys, so we got to put this bar back in. This bar goes across the... You should take it and clean it up. We're not going to pretend like we didn't see that. This bar goes in between the two brake shoes. Sets up in there. Now we're going to let it rest there while we put these rods in. I'm just going to clean them off on our jeans since we're right here. Now we're outside. The car's been sitting. I don't really have the stuff to do anything fancy to it. Just push them in the hole, put them inside the brake pad. Gonna rod back up here in place. Come on. Let's get it lined up. There we go. Looks lined up on both sides. Has to go up a little higher. Go down in there. Okay, so now we put the triangle back on. Triangle, round piece, whatever you want to call this. Goes on there first. That helps guide the shoes. Now, there's a tool for this, like I said. I don't use it. You can buy the tool cheap. AutoZone, Napa, O'Reilly's, Harbor Freight, none of them have paid for me to use their tools, so I use what I want. Doing this spring, a lot of times that tool is easier to get it to slide down. This one's gonna fight me now that I got the camera going, of course. Jumped off on me. Oh, come on now. Why are you fighting me today? Any other time when nobody was watching, but there's all 46 of you watching, so when no one was watching, this thing would slip right on there. Okay, so you're gonna watch me fight it, and that's okay, guys, because what you're learning here is not everything on YouTube goes as they show it. I do watch a lot of YouTube. I love a lot of the bullet run guys. I watch a lot of the fab shop guys, the build guys. And I always think to myself, well, that ain't going to work that way. Well, that ain't going to work that way. And the reality of it is it doesn't in real life. It doesn't work that way. I've done a lot of cars in my lifetime, folks, and what some of these builders do blows my mind, because I don't know how they make it work. I just don't know how they do it. All right, spring, let's get you in there. Okay. Now that spring, as you can see, has to stretch. The spring has to stretch too. Both of these springs are going to fight me today. Okay. Why are we fighting? Well, because I got the camera going is why. If the camera wasn't going, this stuff would already be back together. Stretchers. This side over here kind of giving me a little bit of a... Boom. See what I'm saying, guys? A lot of times these will break on you. I broke these springs. You should have safety glasses on. I should say that first. First and foremost, put some safety glasses on. Don't do things the way I do it. Told my son that a lot in life. A lot of mechanics have a special screwdriver they just use just for this. See, what this is doing is pulling that brake shoe and pushing in the cylinder on the thing, on the wheel cylinder. pushing in the pin on the wheel cylinder. Okay, well, that time it didn't push it in, so we gotta help it. There we go. We gotta get it all in place. There it is. Okay, that's it, guys. That is literally all you gotta do, change the wheel cylinder. Now, the drum needs cleaned up. Should take a wire brush to it, and we probably will once I pull it back off. But I need a little bit of a hammer to tap that on there. Apparently, it must be out too far. What's that going on? Let's adjust that. Okay. Adjustment is a little out of whack there. What are we hitting on here? Why does that feel like it's out too far? I mean, it's sliding over it. Holy fuck, it ain't moving. Adjuster isn't moving. Okay, bear with me here a minute. Alright guys, I'm back here. I went and, hey, don't leave your drink set in the sun. I went and got a wire brush on the drill. I'm gonna kind of slice off the edge of this a little bit. Get you guys in here on that. We're just gonna wire brush the whole inside of this real quick. Get it cleaned up so that we can put her back on there and get it to work. So bear with me and I'll be right back. All right, everybody, we're back. So bad went to worse. The wire wheel that I went in to grab is an older one. I've had it for a long time. This one right here. So this is full of wax. The reason why it's full of wax is so all these, as these little wires come off, they don't fly at you. Well, apparently it's been laying around and got something in it or something. But the wax covered the inside of the drum. So I ended up going to get another wire wheel. Standard, cheap, Harbor Freight wire wheel. And a can of brake clean and scrubbed the heck out of it. I pulled the adjuster out and oiled it while I was there. But it's back together, guys. That turned out to be a little bit more today than I was expecting. Not a lot more, but a little bit. This is the old one. I went in there this way. If I push this side, I don't get nothing. If I push this side, I get some fluid popping out. This side, nothing. So it's froze up. Good deal. Junk wire wheel, guys. Junk wheel cylinder. All going in the junk pile. Got some axle bearings. That's what originally started this project. We're not done yet here, guys. I'll show you what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna let you guys watch this because you guys it'll be boring. But I'll let you in on our next what we're gonna do the rest of today. Let me take you off of the stand here. A lot of you are gonna ask why the wheel drum's red. That's an old school hot rod thing. You see the red through the black wheels. It just kind of looks like an old school hot rod setup. A lot of people do it on their hot rods. I did it on this a long time ago. Also got a bunch of cobwebs. This car is solid in here, guys. Solid. Got some undercoating peeling off, but got some rust here, but that's still solid, guys. I mean, that's solid. It's got a little hole there, but way down here, drop underneath the back and show you guys what we're at into next. That's the diff cover. Now that's been off for a year, and I'm pretty positive that was the original differential fluid in this car. As you can look up underneath this car, when we did the brake lines, we did them in a hurry, so they're not exactly ran the way they should, but they're all new. There's the diff cover been laying here. We're gonna slap it back, so I guess this can be considered one of them will it runs, right? Isn't that what they do on TV, on that big fancy YouTube channels? Well, stay tuned for a will it run when we fire it up in the next video, guys. As always, get out in the garage, or in this case out in the driveway, and get something done. We're on a 66 Oldsmobile. It's been sitting for a year and a half that I know. A year and a half that I know for sure. This April will be 2 years. And we're just getting it back on the road. It's time for me to drive it. All right, guys. Get in the garage and do something, even if it's for 15 minutes.